style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
All around is watching us, the Mexicans, and I feel proud about represent Mexico. Viva Mexico, cabrones!
Welcome to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Spartans! What is your profession?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
It's time!
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, and HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
City Royals.
Bobby Witt plays up behind second base. Soto hits one. That one is past the first and second baseman in the right. Torres being waved, and Pham can't pick it up. And on two hitters, the Yankees have a 1-0 lead on an RBI single for Juan Soto. Here it comes. And he delivers a shot into right field. He will plate for Dugo. Heading over to third base and getting in there is Birdie, and that is a clutch hit by Gleyber Torres, his second of the night, and the Yankees have a 2-0 lead, and that may take Waka out of the game. Infield in, Judge grabs the lead. Here's the 2-2, and that is right back up the middle and through into center field. Giancarlo Stanton is locked in. His RBI gives the Yankees a 3-0 lead, and that was 116.9 miles an hour off the bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men on, 1 run in, 3-0 New York in the 6th. Volpe hits one on a line. That's going to be a double play as Jazz Chisholm gets caught off the bag. Yuli Gurriel caught it, and that will end what could have been a bigger inning. Garcia, after a single, leads off first. The 0-2, he's not going. Beaten on the ground. Birdie steps on the bag at first, throws to second. They got themselves a double play. How about John Birdie at first? He fielded it, touched the bag, fired to second. And Pasquantino sends one to the left center field gap for Hugo going over. He will not get it. Vinny Pasquantino delivers a double. Witt is in. And just like that, the Royals have reinvigorated this crowd. It's 3-1 on a double by Vinny Pasquantino. 1 ball, no strike. Isbell represents the tying run. Fastball driven right field. Soto going back. He's at the wall. He makes the catch. Right at the wall, he extended his left arm to brace himself, and it ends up in his glove. Another blast that went 370 feet, and it's an out. 31-year-old righty has now got 2 outs in the 9th, and Yuli Gurriel bats. The pitch, this one to center field. Judge, he's got a read on it. He's there, and the New York Yankees win it, and they're going to the League Championship Series on the shoulders of Judge, Stanton, and Garrett Cole. 3-1 the final.
Yeah, frustration, disappointment, sadness. Feel really badly for those guys in the room because, as you know, and this is 7-8 months of the year that they just pour it all into it and give every ounce of effort and energy they have. They played the game the right way. They respected each other. They treated each other well. They treated the staff well. Really proud of what they've done, you know, and it stings. But that's okay. It's okay to have it sting because this isn't where we want our season to end. This isn't what we hoped for when we started out. And I think that's okay to embrace it, that it doesn't feel very good. Yeah, I mean, it's simple. I thanked them up and down and extremely grateful for having been around them for this season. And regardless of, how a season ends, you got to appreciate the people that are in that room and how they treated each other, how they treated us as a staff. The things they did for the organization this season were phenomenal. And I just thanked them up and down because really that's all there is to it.
It's tough. It's not what you want. Yeah, that's really it. It just kind of feels like you let a lot of people down whenever you do things like this, but part of the game, kind of something that will light a torch in you and leave you a bad taste for the future, because now for the Kansas City Royals baseball, this is what we want. This is what we're going to do every year. We're going to be in the postseason. Now it's how far we're going to go. It's not how we're going to get there. It's how far we're going to go. And so that's what we're going to work for, and that's what we're going to do. That's the goal. That's now not even the goal. That's reality. That's who we are now, and that's what Royals baseball is. That's just what we're going to keep working for. We're going to keep getting better each and every day and throughout this off season. And so it's just going to be one step at a time. But this team is special, and I just want to say thank you to the fans coming out, and it was a special year. And so, but yeah, like I said, it felt like a letdown. So there's a lot of bad taste in everyone's mouths, and so it's just going to be more motivation for us for the time to come.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHP. It's Friday, October 11th, 2024. Stephen St. John with producer Jake Gutierrez. Royals lose. Last night, 3-1, lose the game. And lose the series 3-1. So the 2024 baseball season is over for the Kansas City Royals. My advice: don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Look, no doubt it's tough. I freaking hate the New York Yankees. And I will be a big Detroit or Cleveland fan in the ALCS. And then if the Yankees advance, I'll be waving my National League banner. Okay? I mean, I know some people, well, I'm going to root for the team that beat my team, or I'm going to root for my league, or I'm going to root against my division. Hey, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I ain't rooting for that damn team to do nothing. And the ignorant fans that I was sitting by yesterday. Yankee fan got thrown out. 6th or 7th inning. He was just being a complete a-hole to everyone, and it was a section over. But you could hear him from where we were sitting, you know. And just, you know, to the point where they walked him out, they threw him out. You got to do a lot, you know. And one lady got mad at me for yelling this. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any specific part of Kansas City. I could have said anything, but the point was, you get my point, because as they were taking him out, I yelled, let's see, I'm going to make more people mad. You'll get the point. Because he was going, oh, and yelling at people, and he got close. I said, shut up, you live in Olathe. Yeah, right. Susan's like, and the lady behind me, you know, don't lump Olathe in with that guy. So, my point is, he's, you know, this guy ain't from New York. He's
right.
Yes. You
Yeah.
Do I have to explain?
You're not isolating Olathe. It's not an
right. It was like I could have said anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You could have said Leewood.
Yeah.
You could have said Lenexa.
Yankee fan. This guy.
Right.
Yeah, this guy. Don't get me started on that, please. But look, hey, if you're down, you got every reason to be. But I hope a lot of Royals fans have some perspective. It's hard to right now, but I think the further away we get from it, it'll be better. You know, losers of 106 last year, and here we are talking about them making it to the ALDS. You know, and these games weren't blowouts. You know, I didn't, like, I felt, man, they coulda, shoulda, woulda won game one. And I felt, man, they coulda, shoulda, woulda won game three. I didn't really feel that way last night. Like Garrett Cole and you know, they just got beat last night.
Yeah, watching it at home, it felt inevitable. As hard as I was rooting, it just felt inevitable.
And they just can't score.
No,
they just can't hit. I think what have they lost now? 8 in a row at home to end the season. Oof. Go back to the regular season.
It's rough.
You know. I mean, so many bright spots, and we'll examine those over the coming weeks. But such a fun season, such an unexpected season, a season that was filled with so many tremendous positives. You could see the nucleus that's here, that's hopefully going to march forward and live up to the words of Bobby Witt Jr., basically saying that, you know, this is the expectation now. It's not about if the Royals make the playoffs now. It's about how far they get in the playoffs. Saying all the right things, you know. Michael Massey's not going anywhere. Vinny Pasquantino's not going anywhere. Bobby Witt Jr. is obviously not going anywhere. Salvi's got a couple of years left.
Garcia.
Michael Garcia. I mean, but also there's a couple of spots that
they got some work to do in the offseason.
Maybe, you know, guys aren't going anywhere as far as years of control, but maybe they should go someplace. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not piling on anyone, but I'm not going to sit here and campaign for MJ Melendez to hold on to a spot. They need to upgrade the outfield.
Yep.
That needs to be upgraded.
Need to go spend some money this offseason.
You know, and I like Michael Garcia, but if someone tells me they're going to go upgrade third base, I'm not going to throw a fit.
No.
Okay, but I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, Michael Massey, that's your second baseman. Bobby Witt Jr., that's your shortstop. Vinny Pasquantino, that's your first baseman.
Yeah, it's fun watching Witt and Massey.
Yeah.
Last night, that scoop, flip, almost double play. I mean, those guys it's going to be fun to watch them moving forward.
You got the makings of a good bullpen moving forward, led by Urseg. You've got your ace. You got Cole Reagans moving forward. You know, there's plenty of players that are here and here for a while to be the nucleus for a really good team for a number of years. Will they make the playoffs every year? No, it's difficult. It's hard. You got to stay healthy. There's some luck involved. You know. But there's every reason to believe they can get back there because they have a solid nucleus led by some stars. You know, Bobby Witt Jr. is still, even though he had a very, very disappointing series against the Yankees. He's still one of the best players in baseball. Cole Reagans still has the upside to be one of the best starting pitchers in baseball. He is one of the best starting pitchers in baseball, but he can get even better. But it's just a reminder of it ain't easy to win in the postseason. It ain't easy to perform in the postseason. That's another reason why George Brett's so great, because even in those losing years to the Yankees, he hit out of his mind and played out of his mind. And that's why I politely, and I'll do this myself too, we leave him alone until Bobby can go and dominate in the postseason. You just leave George Brett in a group of one and probably just go ahead and leave him there forever, considering his postseason OPS was over 1,100. Just leave him be. And that's okay. That's okay that he's a group of one. And hopefully Bobby will get there to where he puts on a show in the postseason. Didn't happen in this one. And he wasn't alone. Tommy Pham went 3 for 3. But, I mean, Vinny had a big hit, but, being at the game, the one thing that stuck with me that was the moment was Kyle Isbell. That damn thing. Just imagine if that ball would have went out. We were right there. It was right in front of us. And I couldn't really tell because we're sitting out there, and I didn't see how close it was to being a home run. Well, I mean, you could tell I just didn't. Was he up against the fence or whatever? So I quickly watched the replay. Like, oh, my God. That stadium would have gone crazy if that ball off Isbell's bat goes out. But
it was right there.
Yeah. And look, there's just, Garrett Cole was really good. They had their chances. They couldn't capitalize enough. And this team just wasn't ready to beat the Yankees. And we could talk about the walks. We could talk about a lot of different things, but they just didn't score enough. Didn't score enough runs. Did not score enough runs. I mean, you tied the series at 1, and then you come home and you give up 3 runs to the Yankees in both games. I think most people would sign up for that. Like, oh, you're going to hold the Yankees to 3 in each game? Wasn't enough. I mean, they held them to 2 in game 2. So I mean, like, I'm not really pointing a lot of, and I know there was a lot of walks, but I'm really not pointing a lot of fingers at the pitching staff. You can't come home and score 3 total runs in 2 games and expect to win. I mean, even back to the Orioles series, they scored 3 runs in those 2 games. I mean, but thankfully the Orioles did nothing offensively. And you might be surprised you're watching the stream that I'm geared up, got my Royals shirt and Royals hat on, because it was a hell of a season. And there's every reason to believe that there's better years ahead with this nucleus. But it sucks and it stings. Play some Bobby Witt Jr. Play some more of that, because he's got to be the Bobby Witt Jr. from the regular season if this team wants to get to where they want to go. And that's the ALCS and ultimately the World Series. And he just wasn't that in this series. And the series is so close. That's another thing that hurts. If he would have been the regular season Bobby Witt Jr., they could have won this series. He could have been the difference maker. It just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And then, the picture of him leaning over the rail in the dugout watching the Yankees celebrate. And I'm just going to tell you this right now, buddy. You can say whatever you want about me. Don't care. That wasn't happening for me. I was not going to, not even out of the corner of my eye, I was not going to see that effing team celebrate on that field last night. Not even a moment of it. No idea. And I'll never know what it looks like. I'll never know what it looked like last night. All right? That was not, I looked at Sue. I said, I'm not going to watch this team celebrate on this field. It's not doing that. You know, out of respect for my grandfather and my mother and everyone's, I'm not doing that. And I didn't. And I'm happy that I didn't. You know, but I will say this, great times. Had a chance to stop by Bluma's tailgate. Had a chance to stop by our friend Frank Shemeka's tailgate. I was with my best friend Caesar, who came in from St. Louis and brought his daughters, including my goddaughter Gabby, who refused to hug me or talk to me. I said, oh, she's acting like my daughters. Look at this. She does love me. And her sister Isabella, who did talk to me and hug me, so that made me feel better. And, you know, and I was with them, and then we left, and I dropped them back down at their hotel downtown, and I said, you know what? And she was there. She goes, so they don't play anymore? Caesar's daughter. I said, no, baby, they don't. And then she said something. Kids can be so great. Kids sometimes can just be so great. And you know what this little girl said to me? That made me feel so good. I mean, just made me feel so good. She just knew the right thing to say to Uncle Steve. You know what she said? But the Chiefs are still playing, aren't they? I said, you're damn right they are, little girl. You're damn right they are. And they're undefeated. And they're going to three-peat. I love you. Thank you for saying that.
That is awesome.
Yeah, they're still playing. I said they're taking a nice vacation this weekend, and then they're going to play the 49ers. She goes, oh, they know how to beat them. I said, yes, they do.
That is awesome.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, child. Right? Isn't that what?
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't just the innocence of a child.
Right, yeah.
She says, the Royals aren't going to play anymore. I said, no, honey. But the Chiefs are still.
That's
right.
right.
Oh, they
That's
are.
right.
Sweetheart.
That's right.
That's right. Let me hear from Bobby Wood Jr. real quick to get my mind right. Here's Bobby Wood Jr. after the loss last night.
A lot of people down whenever you do things like this, but part of the game, kind of something that will light a torch in you and leave you a bad taste for the future, because now for the Kansas City Royals baseball, this is what we want. This is what we're going to do every year. We're going to do in the postseason. Now it's how far we're going to go. It's not how we're going to get there. It's how far we're going to go. And so that's what we're going to work for, and that's what we're going to do.
Bobby, what was the message from Manager Cottrell and maybe some of the vets in here after this?
Yeah, just how grateful all these opportunities that we had this year, and just how proud he is of each and every one of us, because it was just a fun group. It was a special time. That's really it.
Isbell drive to right. How close was that?
I thought it was a homer. It's one of those where baseball's a crazy game. Win, whatever it is, changes, and right there, tie game. So, but yeah.
Jeter did that too, right after series, watching other teams on the field. Is that where you got that from?
That's where I want to be. So I just gotta, I don't know, really just try to take it all in when I can.
You limit the opportunities that you had, a lot of missed opportunities for this team. How much do you limit those opportunities that could have made a difference?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's so many what ifs in the game after you get done looking back at it, and so all you can do now is just learn from it and get ready for the off season, get back, get working, and just take things one day at a time, because this team's going to be special. This is Royals baseball now is competitive. We're going to be coming at teams, and teams aren't going to want to be playing us, and so that's what we're going to be doing. That's kind of our mantra of baseball, and it's going to be like that for a while.
Bobby, you guys kind of brought back a town, a baseball town. 9 years of disappointment this year lit up a city and brought everybody together to watch this team play ball. And, you're a focal point of that, and the future's bright. How do you feel on top of that?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's now not even the goal. That's reality. That's who we are now, and that's what Royals baseball is. That's just what we're going to keep working for. We're going to keep getting better each and every day throughout this off season, and so it's just going to be one step at a time. But this team is special, and I just want to say thank you to the fans coming out. It was a special year, and so but yeah, like I said, it felt like a letdown. So there's a lot of bad taste in everyone's mouths, and so it's just going to be more motivation for us for the time to come.
Bobby, what did you learn about yourself in this series in particular?
Just got to do what I do pretty much all year. Just try to slow things down and just play my game. It's the same game I've played my entire life. The mound's 60 feet, 6 inches away. It's 90 feet to first base. I just got to control what I can and just go about it the way I do each and every day, and just know that we just got to go out there and enjoy it and have fun.
It sounds like from your comments you feel like the expectations have raised for the organization, just what you guys have done this year.
100%. We just got to keep proving ourselves right. People out there didn't really expect us to be in this spot, and we are, and so we're going to keep doing it.
Bobby, what was your biggest takeaway about your first ever postseason run and kind of what you hope to bring from this run to next season?
Yeah, it's motivation. That's really all there is to it. Just because of now you get a taste of the postseason, now you want to keep doing it. So it's just going to make everyone in this clubhouse want to work harder, and that's what we're going to do. And so it's amazing. We have an amazing team, and I feel like our team was special this year, but we're just going to keep getting better.
Bobby, you hit a couple balls really square tonight, particularly the ball to left field. Did you feel like you were swinging it well tonight?
Yeah, I felt great. It's just kind of, part of it. And so it's just baseball. And so sometimes you hit them right at them, sometimes you don't, and it's just the game.
You mentioned the wind. How much did you think it was blowing in compared to usual?
You can't control that. I was just saying that just because of you never know what happens in baseball. The game changes all the time. So yeah.
What was your perspective on the benches clearing incident?
I couldn't tell. I was on deck, but I just kind of, I don't really know what happened.
You focus on your at-bat?
Yeah, I was just trying to stay locked in all the time.
Do you feel like it kind of, sparked something for you guys, able to get the run on the board there?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. Yeah.
Bobby, what did you think of what you got from starting pitching, the whole regular season, but also this series in particular?
Yeah, it was unbelievable just what they did this year. That's one of the reasons why we're here in this situation here today. And so, yeah, it was special.
All right, that was Bobby Witt Jr. after the loss last night. Royals lose the game 3-1, lose the series 3-1 to the Yankees. Hell of a season by the Royals, but it comes to an end last night at Kauffman Stadium. We'll take a break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHP. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Throughout the show, we'll try to sprinkle in some Royals post-game. You heard from Bobby Witt Jr. there after the game. Also, later on, we'll talk to Jeff Penner to get the weekend forecast. We'll have an abbreviated New Day Blitz. We'll talk to Gabe DeArmond from PowerMizzou.com and Matt Walters to talk K-State, but no John Kirby because KU doesn't play. And then we'll catch up with Mike McFarland, get his thoughts on the Royals' loss to the Yankees, just more overall the Royals season, and get Mac's thoughts on that. Then Jake has arranged for us to talk to Bill Brandmeier about the Blasters event coming up on Sunday to benefit Sharewaves. So I know, Jake, you worked hard on that, so appreciate you and your efforts. And then Tim Grunhard will be in studio?
In studio.
Well, I know because he was at the game last night.
And we hope he's not in Florida.
Because Nate Bukaty was taking pictures of him and Jeff Chadilla at the game.
Which
and
is
then,
very creepy.
And I sat, Stan Weber joins us in studio now. And Stan, I sat game 3, I sat down in my seat for the player introductions, and I did not leave my seat until the final out of the game. And my wife was even irritated by this because she wanted me to walk around for a little bit and go get some drinks. So I said, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. And so then last night I was locked in through 7, and then I said I got to do something different. This isn't working. This is 16 innings now of not scoring runs. So then I get up and start to move around a little bit, and I go look at some different angles, and then just within 5 minutes, who do I see strolling in the outfield in that outfield experience? Nate Bukaty and his wife Kelly. I said, look at this guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate
Would
Bukaty.
you look at this guy? And I guess they had the same idea. So then we watched.
Were they kicking a soccer ball back there together?
Yeah, they were. He was very excited about a soccer game. And so then we watched the 8th inning together. We were trying to
get
change
the blood flowing,
and it just wasn't happening. And so, so I saw Nate. So I know everyone's excited about that. Nate saw Jeff Chadilla and Grunhard, and there was, you know what? It was a great night of seeing wonderful people and wonderful listeners. If you were one of the people that came up to me and took a picture with me or said hello or just whatever and said you listen to the show, thank you so much. I had a chance to meet so many listeners of Sports Radio 810, and many of them were so enthusiastic, and it was a pleasure to meet each and every one of you. So thank you for taking time out of your night to stop by and just say hello. That really does mean a lot to me, and I loved it. But Stan, I did not love the game. I did not love the Yankees winning. Just like to get your thoughts on the series and maybe just the season now that it's over, now that it's wrapped up, after the Royals lose 3-1 in the game and in the series to the Yankees last night.
There's a lot of things to be said. First of all, congratulations and thank you to the Royals and the organization, John Sherman on down, everyone working so hard in the face of a 100-loss season last year, to not let that affect what they're doing this year and just continue to fight and claw. And many people wrote them off many times down the stretch, and then those losing streaks after Vinny got hurt really looked like damaging blows, and yet they went through and won the wild card series. So they did win one series. And if you're just a fan saying you want to maximize your capabilities, I think you could feel pretty good about this because the Yankees won in 3-1. It wasn't like there was some stupid call or error in New York that cost them the series. It was the Royals fought. They were close, but they weren't quite good enough to beat the Yankees. So you feel good about not missing opportunities. But you also, I think, on the other side, from negatively thinking it's too bad that we didn't feel the magic in Kauffman. Now, I didn't go to either one of the games, but watching on TV, not having those innings where you're in the lead changes going back and forth, or just winning a game.
There's a lot of waiting for something to happen.
Yes.
That never happened.
I just think that's important because the momentum of a home win seems to really carry waves throughout the whole community. Because the NFL is the biggest thing. The Kansas City Chiefs are the biggest thing in the world. Why wouldn't they be taking up all the oxygen in the air around here? Why wouldn't they? I mean, Chiefs fans everywhere. But we saw in 14 and 15 that just waves of people can love baseball easily and get their arms around it. People don't even like sports were telling me what the lineup was from the leadoff hitter all the way through the last batter in the lineup in the 14 and 15 seasons by the time we got to the World Series. It was so cool to see people, and I thought that momentum was right on the verge of happening. Maybe just one home win to get the place to explode and everyone to really have that full Royals feel. That was a missed opportunity. And like you said, they didn't win a game down the stretch really at home. And Kauffman Stadium was magical. Think about Bobby Witt's hitting. He hit, over 380 at home? Mm-hmm. He won the American League batting title, but at home he was off the charts. And so the celebration of having that home field feel, I didn't go to the games, but it doesn't seem like there was that opportunity to explode. I mean, it was, 3 feet away from it happening? When that ball almost went out, that looked like it could have been a home run. It could have been an explosion.
And, we get up, and and I didn't see how close. I saw the replay, but when it was in the air, everyone in our section got up because that's where we were sitting. It was coming right at us, and it was just, if that ball would have went out, that stadium would have exploded. We were ready just to jump out of our section.
As that ball was flying through the air, and most of the time when I watch baseball, I don't know what you guys think, but it seems like the ball carries enough. The guys know about, they're trying to hit home runs. They're trying to get the backspin. They know what they're doing, and it seems like it always flies out a little bit further than you think. So for about a second or two, I go, this is going to be a home run. And for the first time all night, I go, I think the Royals are going to win this game. Because if they would have tied it 3-3 with that dramatic hit and then see that stadium explode, that was the first time that I was ready for just a split second to say, whoa. The rest of the game I was thinking, it doesn't feel, the energy's not there. It doesn't feel like the Royals are going to win this game. It's going to take something extra. And right away the Yankees got the lead, then they added to it. They're a good baseball team and all that. But that was, for a split second, that hope. And I wish, even if they would have lost the game, that would have gone out and you could have had that explosion and the nation could have saw what Kansas City Royals baseball was. Because I don't have a chance in baseball to track all the teams. You might with a rotisserie league, but baseball has become, it's a local sport, a regional sport, a division sport at best. It's not like the NFL, not a national league. I don't watch the Padres, but unless they have the volume jacked up there, unless they have the mics in all the perfect places, and Jake, you may know this because of television production, the roar at the Padres games sounds like a football stadium. And I was waiting for the nation to see Kauffman Stadium explode like that. But thanks a lot for all they did. The fact that they signed guys like Bobby Witt for the future, and you can go down the lineup, the pitchers, the players, starting with Bobby and Salvi coming back, the fact that these guys are likely not just going to be free agents and go to Boston and New York and L.A. next year, how cool does that feel? That this isn't the dismantling. After 2015, right. What happened? The dismantling of the Royals. It was a great run in 14 and 15, but what happened? You couldn't get excited about the next year. I think that's really cool. Great organization, the way they're doing things, the analytics. I even think, they'll never want to say this, but I'll even think that all the walks that occurred in the last couple games were not failures. I think there's a good chance that they were saying, let's keep the ball on the edges. If we walk a couple guys, we're good enough to get out of those jams. Do not let one of those dudes jack a home run and give them momentum. Q's not going to say that because you don't want any walks, right? But I bet that they were saying, we'll nibble and take a few walks here and there because look how many runs the Yankees scored. Not that many. And the strategies that they have, the intense strategies behind the scenes, the way they were rolling in pitchers at different times, like, oh, wait, the closer's coming in at this time of the game. I mean, the buttons he's pushing and the way he's thinking it through, we don't have enough time to even understand. I don't. Baseball, so I can't break it down for the fans about what he's doing. I can tell you the stuff Andy Reid might be doing, and Andy Reid deserves all that credit, but how about Q and the staff? Using analytics but not going too far with them? I mean, I really love the way they present themselves and how they try to win baseball games.
They just didn't score enough, and the lineup just had too many holes.
They're big holes.
They need two more hitters. Two more quality major league hitters in that lineup.
Isn't it amazing they made it that far with really three guys three guys in a row that you just say, no matter what, you're going to stop what you're doing at home,
right,
and say, I want to see these three guys bat.
And Massey's not to that point, but Massey's good, solid hitter, and then you got the big three. And then after that, it's just.
But the other thing that you said, you took the words right out of my brain when you said, for old people, you've got to just take a deep breath and have such an appreciation for George Brett.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to bash Bobby Witt Jr. I mean, it's a short little series. It's only a couple of games. Let's don't overreact, okay? And even Judge, who the Yankee fans could say Witt didn't play his normal regular season. Well, neither did Judge. So it kind of, in this series, evened out. But the fact that George Brett produced in the playoffs just makes you get a bigger smile. And that Salvi was the MVP when they won the World Series in 15 over the Mets. And the home run that Salvi hit the other day, because you know how hard runs are to come by. How about that hit? And that was the best moment of the, maybe thinking of this wrong, but it may be the best moment of that series.
And I know they lost, but like in 76, when the Royals won 5 games with the Yankees, Brett hit .444 with a homer, 5 ribbies, and a .1254 OPS. In 77, when they lost in 5 games, he hit .300 with a couple of triples and a couple of ribbies.
A couple of triples.
Yeah. In 78.
In the playoffs.
In 78, in 4 games, he hit .389 with 3 homers. He had 3 homers in a game. Yeah, and again,
and those Yankees teams were really good.
Yeah, his ALCS OPS is over 1,100.
So it brings back a spotlight for me.
Yeah,
it is really like Bobby Witt will have his moments. Okay, we're not trying to bash him, but just appreciate what George Brett did in the playoffs on the biggest stage.
Right.
And those Yankees teams were good.
Yeah.
So that's looking backwards too much maybe, but it does remind me of how awesome it was to see him perform. And then I thought of, again, Bobby Witt does not get to control a game like a quarterback does, but think about Patrick Mahomes being the best player in the world and then what he does in Super Bowl games. It kind of is George Brett-like.
You know what?
Rises to the high level right when it's counted on. Man, that is unbelievable.
And I don't know how much they showed it on TV, but 2 of the moments where the crowd did go crazy on Wednesday when there was, I think after the Royals had scored, they show Mahomes on the video board, and he's going, waving the towel, getting everyone, and everyone gets up and just goes crazy, right? He's telling everyone to get up. Last night, Mahomes wasn't there, but last night, and I think it was after the Royals scored their run, who do you think they show up there? Big Red. Andy Reid gets, and he has a towel. He's trying to get the crowd. He's just
oh my gosh, Andy Reid did that.
And everyone gets up, and, Andy,
Oh,
and he's getting the crowd.
And he waved a towel.
Yeah,
Andy Reid.
But I love that.
That's unbelievable.
I love
That's
that.
really cool.
I love that. I love that Mahomes was there the night before, getting everyone fired up, and I love that Andy Reid was there last night, getting the crowd fired up. They just couldn't score enough. But that made for just a little bit, that made me happy. It's Big Red, he's here.
Well, it's great to be a part of the playoffs, and it's big to win a series. You could have been out at the wild card level, and we'd still be saying, thank you, Royals. But they won. That's big. Learning how to win playoff games is a hard thing to do. It's a different game. When every pitch matters to the level, these guys are taught to play the game, and it is such a grind over 162 games and all the months they play, plus spring training. I mean, you just learn to go up, do your best, concentrate when the balls hit to you, concentrate when you're pitching, concentrate when you're hitting, but not the intensity of every pitch having so much hanging on it. That's different. And that's playoff baseball. And they had some success. They won. They learned. The saddest thing about it is I love that Bobby Witt Jr. is looking forward and saying, okay, this is the standard now. This is the expectation. But then you know how hard it is, Stephen. You got to start all over. I mean, they're going to play a whole month of spring training. And then you're going to grind. And there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee just because you're good in 2024 that you can put it all together in 25.
We've got Stan Weber in studio. Back after this on WHB. All right, Stephen St. John here for my friends at Diamonds Direct. And I actually stopped by Diamonds Direct just the other day to shop around and check out what was going on. And they got something going on coming up on Sunday I want to tell you about. Cars and Carrots for kids. It's going to be this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Diamonds Direct at 4500 West 119th Street here in Leawood. And what they're going to have, how about this, Jake? It's their second annual luxury car show benefiting the Shadow Buddies Foundation. There's going to be luxury vehicles in the parking lot, exclusive watch collections, and you could have a chance to win luxurious prizes. To register and to purchase raffle tickets for a bunch of great prizes, go to carsandcarrots.eventbrite.com. That's carsandcarrots.eventbrite.com, and it's all to raise money for Shadow Buddies, the Shadow Buddies Foundation, which is so very important to a bunch of kids. And you've remember Tony Gonzalez was involved with Shadow Buddies, and so it's a great organization, and Diamonds Direct is helping them out with this big event. So go out there and check them out. And remember, the good folks there at Diamonds Direct are not just about sales. They care with events like this for the community. And so stop by Cars and Carrots this Sunday at Diamonds Direct from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And remember, for the best quality, the best price, and the best shopping experience, there's no better choice than Diamonds Direct.
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated. HLAC